Alright y'all, so today I decided to test DoorDash doing Peak Pay here in Phoenix. Orders was coming in pretty fast and I ended up completing 14 deliveries in just a few hours. Now what surprised me about the Dash wasn't just the number of orders, it was how quickly they were coming, and compared to some of the other apps I run like Walmart Spark. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through this entire shift and show you whether this dash was actually worth it or not. So I started dashing in the morning. I logged on when I noticed there was a Peak Pay active in my area. That usually means DoorDash is trying to get more drivers out because the demand is high. Whenever I see Peak Pay, I like to jump on and test the market because sometimes it can make a big difference in how much you earn during a shift. Right away, the orders start coming in pretty quickly. One thing I noticed during this dash is the most of the deliveries were fairly short distance, which is exactly what you want when you're trying to complete a lot of the orders in a short amount of time. Short trips mean you can finish delivery faster and move on to the next order without spending a lot of time driving across the city. Now, before we get too far into the shift, let me show you how this dash actually turned out after completing the 14 deliveries and looking at the totals. This dash ended up coming out to $114.25 for about 3.5 hours of active delivery time. Stack orders can really help increase your earnings because you're basically completing multiple deliveries during the same trip. I did a few stack orders during this deliveries. So yes, that made a difference. In both of the few stack orders I did get, the customers were tipping. Other things I noticed about this shift compared to apps like Walmart Spark is the pace. With Spark, sometimes you might wait 30 minutes or more just for an order to come out of the store. But with DoorDash doing Peak Pay, the orders were coming in pretty consistently. That's why I always recommend gig workers run multiple apps and pay attention to what's busy at certain times. And on DoorDash now, you get multiple types of orders. I was doing a shopping order. It was a small shopping order here in Fries. So, on this run with the Peak Pay, you could get any kind of order. And like I said, I was getting some shopping orders and just regular food orders. But for me, because I'm used to doing shopping, in-store shopping, it's nothing to me to jump on the app. And if I get some in-store shopping, I'm going to do that as well because, I'm used to doing that. And, I'm pretty fast. That's why I was able to complete this dash so fast because I'm used to doing in-store shopping. I've been doing that a long time, with all the platforms. And I work these stores. I work for Fry's, so I pretty much know where everything is. I done worked for many of the stores that I go into, and so now I know them, which is pretty cool because it gets me in and out, and I be like, okay, I know what this is. I know what that is. I'm so thankful for that because and it doesn't matter here, like, where, it's many Fry's, it's many Walmarts. They all are the same. They just may be turned a different way, but pretty much the layout be the same. And that makes it cool. The faster you are, the more orders you get and it seemed to me for real like DoorDash seeing that I was getting these orders done fast. Before I complete an order, they was already giving me an order before I even get to the person's house. As you can see, these orders are coming in back to back, like I said. And this is the best time to get out there. You know, peak pay, when you're not wasting your time. So that's what I do. I do look at the map and see, you know, what's coming in, you know, peak. I make sure to see if they're like paying extra or something like that. That's the only time I'm really trying to get on to DoorDash. And all of these orders were around the same area. I did not leave far from my home. My last order, I think I ended up being maybe 6-7 minutes away from my house. So that worked out. This was a great run. Here's one of those stack orders I took. So the customers end up being like 3 minutes apart. So that's why I took this order. This was a great order, a stack order. And you know, you got paid double because of the peak pay. Okay, kitty, I don't want you to get the food. Thank you. You're welcome. Here, what I do notice, like the pizza orders, you want to get on there when they're doing a lot of ordering. For the pizza, that was the most pay during during this run. The people that ordered the pizza. Now, I want to be honest about this shift because not every dash goes like this. Some nights can be really slow and the others might not pay very well. But when you catch the right timing, especially during peak pay or busy dinner hours, it can make a big difference in how much you earn. And another thing, I did not dash all at once. Like, I only went out when it was peak pay. So, you know, I did multiple dashes within the 3.5 hours, but I didn't just sit out there waiting on orders. I only got out there when I saw that the orders was high and it was peak pay.
Online order. There you go. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you.
You too. Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm picking up for Tony.
For Tony?
Yes.
Should be all set.
This actually was another stack order
Hi.
with Little Caesars that I did.
What you got for me? Something good?
Yeah, I hope so.
You want to take a picture?
Yeah.
So let's recap this dash. 14 deliveries completed, about 3 hours and 30 minutes active time. Total on earnings, $114.25. That comes out to roughly around $30 an hour active time before expenses like gas. Overall, this was a pretty solid dash for the time I was out, but I'm curious to know how things are in your area. Do you usually chase Peak Pay when it pops up, or do you stick to other apps like Spark or Instacart? Drop a comment below and let me know. And if you want to see more real gig work breakdowns like this, make sure you subscribe, like, and because I post a lot of content showing what these apps are actually paying.